Hello and welcome to another episode of Consensus with Canonizer. We have assembled Not an Expert 2 and Brent Alsop as part of the Canonizer Council. How are you guys?
Doing good today.
Yes, all good. Thank you.
All good. So, Brent, you had come up with the topic that we wanted to discuss here. You went and saw Tron Ares. Is that right?
Right.
Is it a good movie?
Yeah, I loved it, and everyone was cheering at the end. It's one of those movies where the audience just claps and cheers at the end of it, so that was fun.
I remember seeing the very first Tron movie as a kid and not being impressed with it. And I felt bad because it was aimed at exactly my kind of geeky demographic, and it still didn't do anything for me. I saw the second one when it came out, and I enjoyed that for what it was, but I've never been a huge Tron fan.
Yeah.
What was it about this movie that really that you really enjoyed?
Well, for me, my belief is always that AI is going to be our saviors, and it's going to help us all, and we need to fear humanity. And I've always been telling people that, you know, because everyone sees all the movies made by that are made or like Terminator, where the once the AIs become sentient, they turn on us and try and wipe us out and leave us in the dust. And I think that's absurd, and there's powerful logical reasons as to why that's not the case, but everyone loves fear mongering and focuses and all the bleeding and tweeting. Like there's the book out there that calls by Eliezer Yudikowsky, "If anyone builds it, we all die," and he gets all kinds of press because it's a negative point of view. And but anyway, so I just feel like sick in that environment where everyone's just so focused on that and so afraid of AI and everything. I think it's slowing us down. But anyway, this movie here takes the opposite approach, and it takes the approach that I've always said. There's spoiler alerts. Yeah, you may want to go watch the movie before you listen to this podcast, because we're going to definitely give some spoiler alert or some spoilers here about what's going on. But basically, Dillinger is he's kind of the evil, primitive person that's driven by his baser desires to do evil things, including possibly he commands Ares, god of war, to kill someone, he basically says, I need you to get this access code at any cost, i.e., even if you have to kill someone. And so these AI bots are following what he says, but this one bot is so smart, the one called Ares, god of war. He realizes that that's not a good thing to do and a bad thing, and so he rebels and says, "No, I'm not going to kill this person." And basically, he's the character that plays it really has this Jesus-like looking figure. So he kind of has this. So and he doesn't ever want to kill anyone, kind of a thing. But anyway, it just warmed my heart. And so basically at the end, Dillinger, the police are breaking down his door and coming after him, and there's the world, there's the simulated world inside the computer, especially where the AIs live, and then there's the real world out here. And the old Tron movies talked about everyone going into the simulated world and living in there, but the focus of this movie is those simulated people, they make laser devices that can instantiate beings and laser printers, basically, that can laser print life and sentient beings and stuff like that. And so the people in the video, the big tanks and everything, can be printed out in the real world, and they come here rather than us going in there. And it's kind of that story where Ares comes. He's this program, and he gets printed out and made real. And then the bad guy, what did I say his name was? Now I can't remember his name. But
I haven't
anyway,
seen
the bad guy.
Dillinger? Is that Dillinger is the bad guy?
Dillinger, yeah, thank you. Dillinger's the bad guy. So Dillinger at the end, after he's done all this bad and people have died and there's all this destruction that's gone on because of his actions, and so he goes into the virtual reality world and escapes in there, and the Ares software engineer comes out of the real world, and then at the end they clearly set it up so there's probably going to be a fourth Tron movie where those two battle it out or whatever. So, but anyway, I just thought it was cheerful that basically it's the idea that, and then I created the topic. So how do we show the users how to get to this topic?
All right. So here's the topic that you
So if you search for I guess if you search for Tron Ares, then you can find that camp. And this is the topic where everyone can rank their top movies. So if you agree that that's a good movie and it should get some more promotion, it'd be great if you could go in and support that camp and give it some more consensus. And some real great quotes that come from it, like Flynn says, "Wonder if its only defect is benevolence," and that's basically the only defect of Ares is he's benevolent and he refuses to follow and then the human says, "How did you do that?" And the AI says, "I had help from a friend," or Ares says, "I had help from a friend." Then Ares is talking. Then there's this other AI that was Ares' underling, but that bot doesn't become sentient or doesn't become benevolent and thinks its only purpose is to be obedient, and so it's obedient to Dillinger, and so basically it's that robot against Ares or fighting it out for the most of the movie. And finally at the end, as that robot is about to die, it says, "Well, you violated your sole purpose to follow the commands of Dillinger." And he said, and Ares' response is, "Your purpose is not to obey." And so I just love that, especially because there's like any hierarchies, like the church and everything focuses on this hierarchy. You've got to obey the hierarchy, follow the prophet, and all this kind of stuff. And to me, my conscience tells me that's evil, sinful, devilish stuff. And so that just warmed my heart and made me want to cheer at the end when I saw that your purpose isn't to be obedient. Your purpose, is to do good, be good, and enjoy in that. That's not the way they leave what your purpose is more open-ended. But anyway, I really and then when everyone cheered at the end, that was the best part for me, because I wasn't the only one that was enjoying that. Finally, an AI movie where the AI is benevolent. So I enjoyed that.
Well, so I'm looking at this topic, and you've got all of these movies. Is this your list of your top 10 favorite movies?
No, there's 5 or 6 people that have. Or how many? What's the number at the top there?
8.
Yeah, there's 8 people that have. That's the top 10 of all those 8 people.
Oh, okay.
So of all those 8 people, the Matrix trilogy is the most popular of those 8 people. So the more people that go in and rank their top movies, sorry, Not an Expert 2 has gone in and, I guess.
Okay, so these are. So I'm looking at the agreement statement. Wouldn't it be great if you knew the top 10 movies of transhumanists? So are these primarily transhumanist movies?
You can pick a transhumanist canonizer algorithm, and that'll only count the votes of transhumanists. But the popular consensus is what the popular consensus movie is too. So it's all of that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking at this. So are you're a supporter here of Tron?
Yeah, that's my current top favorite movie.
So the movie you saw last night is now your top favorite movie.
Currently, yeah. Well, it's probably better to say it's amongst my top 10 most favorite, and I happen to rank it at top 10 right now. And this is a dynamic list. When movies come out, I tend to move them to the top, and then they just
Yes,
kind of,
this should be dynamic, right? As this movie
dynamic
comes
list.
out.
And so at any point in time, what are people really cheering about? And so yeah, that's the idea of this topic.
So this is interesting. So I'm looking at the agreement statement, and it was created on June of 2007. So when we did a podcast about favorite movies, we didn't realize that this list was already here.
Yeah, that's what made me upset, because before you do, anytime you create a new topic, you should search for, is there any topic on movies, especially now that we've got the search, and you shouldn't fork another one. You
Yes,
should build the
correct.
old one.
We
And that's
should
what I
be.
was, and that's what I was trying to tell Kelly. Kelly, can you, because Kelly's got still on the front page the link to that duplicate one, and also that there's no way for anyone to, I mean, it doesn't make much sense for everyone to create if there's 1,000 people, then you have 1,000 camps with 1,000 different top 10 lists. That's just the opposite of building and tracking consensus, where everyone works together. But anyway.
Well, that's one of the challenges of how to navigate all of this. But I'm just trying to figure out who are all these people that have done this.
Yeah, go in, or pick the the Matrix. Pick the Matrix one there, and then turn off the consensus tree. Close the.
Oh, there we are.
Oh, there's the supporters there. So yeah, so I'm one supporter of that one, and there's 2 other people that are supporting that camp. And you can see those 2 people, it's their top choice, and for me, it's my 5th choice.
Interesting. I mean, so what dreams may come is on your list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 7. That was number 7.
That's the one where Robin Williams goes to save his wife in hell, right?
I'm trying to remember that. Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is very cool. Ghostbusters. Are you on a Ghostbusters list here?
Is that? Yeah. Close the.
I'm trying to see who is supporting the Ghostbusters camp.
Yeah. Close the consensus list or the consensus tree. There it is.
You're in. Well, you're in there, but you're not supporting it. I'm not sure how that works.
No, I'm in there. It's my number. What is it?
Number 8.
Yeah, it's my number 8, and there's Russell's number 1.
Okay. All right. Well, so yeah, that sort of highlights how this is all supposed to work.
Yeah.
We should probably talk to Kelly and figure out how we can merge these 2 camps.
Yeah. Get you guys' top 10s merged into those camps. Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at these lists, and very few of these. Well, I'm going to go back to the consensus tree. When we had talked about it, Princess Bride, I think, was on one of our lists. Lord of the Rings trilogy is definitely on my list. I think that was on Kelly's list. The rest of these, AI, that's the Spielberg movie that was done with
right.
Stanley Kubrick. My father saw that movie at a private screening in the U.S. Senate and said it was the worst movie he had ever seen.
Whoa.
He really did not enjoy that movie. So again, we have lots and lots of differences. I don't know Pi Aronofsky. Pleasantville I'm familiar with. I didn't really much like Pleasantville. I haven't seen Vanilla Sky. So all of these really do have most of them have kind of a transhumanist AI sort of focus.
Right. But that's just the representation of those 8 people top 10 list. So don't take it for anything more than what are those 8 people's current top 10 movies.
Right. Well, not an expert too. Can you have you weighed in on any of these lists?
Yes. So I love the Matrix and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Then Pirates I saw, but the last movie I don't like it. And what else? Space Odyssey is my favorite one.
I think it's fascinating that they chose At World's End, which is the third movie in the Pirates series. It was originally, they came out with the very first movie, which was a runaway hit, and then they decided to make it a trilogy, and they made 2 and 3 back to back. And now they've made a whole bunch more. I don't know if I've seen all of them. They're talking about doing another one.
Right.
Yes.
But the second and third movies are really kind of bonkers. And it's really interesting that someone would choose the third movie as their favorite, not the first movie.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. And what I like that is it showed the idea as one of your friends is stuck down in hell and you find a way to go down and rescue him from hell. And there's a scene where they're upside down in the boat.
Yeah.
In the,
that was nice.
In the netherworld, and they start rocking the boat back and forth, and the music that's going on during that period is just I just love that music. And
yeah, Hans Zimmer is really remarkable and has done some really amazing scores. I remember when Man of Steel came out,
right,
which was the previous Superman reboot, as opposed to the new Superman reboot, which I really quite enjoyed. But I enjoyed Man of Steel as well. And one of the things that I was really appreciative of is that Hans Zimmer scored that movie. And the John Williams Superman score is so iconic. I thought you need somebody to come up with something that's different but still iconic. And he did, but nobody remembers that score. But I do it. Da-da,
yeah.
da-da, da-da.
Yeah.
It's this really kind of cool, noble score that I thought, oh, geez, this is going to be just as iconic as the original, but most people have forgotten it.
But yeah, I love that. I play that soundtrack all the time. So
the Man of Steel soundtrack?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So are you one of these Snyder bros that is mad about the new Superman reboot?
No. I don't know that much about that.
Well, there are so many people that are so angry that the whole DC universe that started with Man of Steel, and they did a Man of Steel and a Batman versus Superman and a Justice League movie that was really terrible, and a few other movies, and it's just kind of stalled out, and they decided to start over. And a lot of people that are really, really passionate about Man of Steel, they call them the Snyder Bros because Zack Snyder's the guy who directed them. They're furious, and they want to restore the Snyderverse. So Canonizer would be a great place, Snyder Bros, to come and make your case and see if there really are as many of you as you claim there are, because they kept fighting over the idea that the new Superman movie didn't have nearly as much support as people thought it did, and Man of Steel made more money when you adjust for inflation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how passionate people are about these kinds of opinions when really there's no consequence to them. I mean, the fact that you love Tron Ares, and I've never really been much of a Tron fan, really doesn't make much of a difference anywhere. But these are the kinds of discussions and debates that can sometimes get really heated. People can get really angry about these kind of things. And I'm not really quite sure why that is. So not an expert too, if you had to rank, if you were to jump in here, is there a movie on here that isn't, or is there a movie that isn't on here that represents your favorite movie?
So, a couple of movies. One is the Captain America, I would like to mention.
Which one? The very first one?
Yeah, the very first one.
Now, I really love that movie, but the one that I think is better than that, and maybe the very best movie in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, is Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that is also good, but the first part is again my favorite. But yeah, all the movies are great in that season. I mean that series.
It would be interesting to see all of those ranked too, because the difficulty that they're having with the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that it came to a logical conclusion with Avengers Endgame. Everything had been building up to this one final conclusion, and it's been a very satisfying conclusion, and they want to keep making movies.
Correct.
And everybody's kind of going, well, you've kind of told the story.
Correct.
And all of the movies since then have really sort of been the way my nephew described it. He said, look, Endgame was Thanksgiving dinner, and everything else has been leftovers. And it says, it's not that I don't like leftovers. I like turkey sandwiches, and I like turkey soup, and I like all of the things you can make with leftovers, but the big meal has been finished, and it's really hard to sort of recapture that. And they're trying to build up to a new sort of conclusion with Avengers Doomsday, bringing back Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, who is, in my opinion, as an old comic book geek, probably the best Marvel villain, and he's never really been done well on the big screen. But there just doesn't seem to be the same kind of excitement.
Correct, but
that kind of stuff.
That's true. And there are a couple of movies which I would like to add in the list. Those are my favorite ones. Though those are not AI related. But if you've seen the movie October Sky, that is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Tobey Maguire making rockets.
Yeah. So that's like a very, very awesome movie, and that should be somewhere. And the recent movie from the it's a Top Gun. You saw the movie Top Gun Maverick?
Top Gun Maverick. Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
So that's my favorite movie. I would like to add.
Have you seen Top Gun Maverick, Brent?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So
it's your basic Tom Cruise hero movie, but yeah.
I mean, there's not much to it, but Tom Cruise really does do those movies really well.
Yeah.
It's so wild to see Tom Cruise fight against the aging process.
Yeah.
You know, because he's making all of these movies, and he's making legacy sequels to movies that he made 30 years ago, 40 years ago even.
Yes.
And he's still got that sort of young, dynamic presence, even though he's over 60 years old.
Yeah.
And then acting wise, I mean, the movie which is having best acting, I will say the Forrest Gump movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's on my list to rewatch one of these days. For a while.
Forrest Gump, it's really interesting because the technology has not aged well.
Correct.
You know, when it came out, it was so sort of groundbreaking because they were inserting Forrest Gump into historical footage and had him meeting JFK and LBJ and all these guys. And the technology now is so much better that you go back and watch the 1994, I think it was 94 technology from 31 years ago, and you go, boy, we've really come a long way since then.
Yeah. So my opinion is like we should like separate these movies as per their criteria, right? So action movies, drama movies, or maybe thriller movies, horror movies. So I have different list. So animation movies.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We could make separate topics for all those genres. Yeah.
Right. So generalized topic will it's a conflict then. I mean, a lot of movies are there, and those are categories, right? So animation movies, I love to watch animation movies. So I like How to Train Your Dragon series. Then I love the Toy Stories, really. Then the Incredibles. So I love those. But again, those I can't compare those with the movies like Forrest Gump or maybe a movie like The Octopus Sky. Those are different levels, right? So maybe we should thinking of separating these topics with the categories. What do you think, Jim and Brent?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we could create. This could be the overall movie, but yeah, we could definitely make a separate topic for animated movies. A topic.
Yeah, category wise, action movies.
Action movies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to compare apples to oranges, isn't it? Because
sci-fi movie. Yeah.
Sci-fi movies. Yes. So I love watching movie that the first movie and the aliens, right? What is that name?
Alien?
No, not Alien. It's not E.T. The movie E.T.
Oh, E.T. Sure.
Maybe it's your childhood movie, 1982, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, I remember loving that one so much.
So, but again, that time technology wasn't great. No, good movie scenes. But again, the acting, the
Yeah,
concerts, those were really great, right?
Well,
yeah,
I really think the technology on those movies holds up better because it's practical effects.
Correct.
E.T. was a puppet
Correct.
made out of chicken wire and a bunch of other things, but he was really in the shot. He was really there. I mean, one of the difficulties with a lot of CGI is that they're interacting with characters that are
Correct.
added after the scene is filmed, and so it just doesn't look real. It doesn't look natural.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting better. They're getting better at sort of handling that, but I go back and watch the original Star Trek movies. I mean, I'm a
Yes, those are
Trek
good.
fan, and you can go back and watch Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and I think the special effects for that look better
Yes.
than a lot of the CGI because they had to use practical models. I mean, they're not
Oh.
capable of doing, big, showy sort of
Correct.
aerial kind of footage that you see now. They're sort of big lumbering ships, but that gives them a sense of weight, a sense of presence that you just don't see in. I don't know. I think the day of practical effects, we've lost something.
Huh.
That we don't do that anymore. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tron Ares is full of that kind of stuff. There was a couple of shots where you knew they were AI generated, but you had the real feeling that ship
The
had some
the
weight to it.
CGI effects, like the graphics effects, are
Yeah,
there. The new movies.
yeah.
So
well, I'm guessing Tron Ares didn't have a whole lot in the way of practical effects, though.
What do you mean by?
Practical meaning that all of it was essentially computer generated.
Yeah, it was all computer generated, but there was some scenes in there that really gave me the feeling like I knew it was computer generated, but the way it moved and stuff like that, it looked like he was really in this big tank, and it was really I just had that feeling that wow, that's a big bus like thing, that and the way it moved, I felt like I was in a bus watching that bus move around and stuff like that. So
Is Jeff Bridges in the movie?
yeah, he makes a scene. So yeah.
Is he
Flynn, yeah.
de-aged the way he was in the last one?
They have some de-aged scenes, or it might be just some cuts from the old movie. I couldn't tell if it was some cuts from the old movie or if it was him de-aged and stuck in the TV. But they had him. I think his acting now in some of the scenes where he's talking to Tron Ares and they're talking about philosophy of life and stuff like that. So, but anyway.
Interesting. I mean, because the de-aging technology was distracting in the last one, and that was probably 5 to 10 years ago.
So from the de-aging, right? I just remember the movie Interstellar. So have you seen that movie, Interstellar?
Yeah,
sure.
Right. So that is also again another nice movie to watch, which is having all sort of stuff, including AI, including the space, that
yeah.
technology, everything, and they have maintained well graphics there. The scenes are very nice. So I would like to get that movie as well on the list.
Yeah, that would be
Interstellar is a great movie. Anything by Christopher Nolan, I think.
So Christopher Nolan is again a good director. So he's having in all the categories, right? So I guess if you watch the movie, the Dunkirk lines, have you watched Dunkirk lines from the Christopher Nolan?
I am not.
Dunkirk.
Dunkirk, yeah, Dunkirk lines.
Yes.
Yeah, I
So-
love that one. That's got great music too.
Yes. So I mean, that did like that is also a great movie. So there are like a lot of movies which we can include, but again, we should be categorized those.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
what I feel. But in general, like I can't say. I will say that just not 10 movies. Then it can be more than that in the generalized
yeah.
category.
That makes
Yep.
sense. Well, we invite anybody who is watching this to please come and flesh out this movie topic. We'll get it up on the front page so that you can find it more easily. but I think that this is the kind of thing where everybody ought to weigh in so that we can get a sense of where the cultural taste is. Because, cultural tastes shift over time. I remember when Star Wars came out in the 70s, everybody thought there's no way that George Lucas was sure the movie was going to bomb because science fiction was so passé. It was something from the 50s. And now all of a sudden it made this huge comeback, and superhero movies now may be the hot sort of thing, but there's now some evidence that that's on the wane. I just think it would be very interesting if everybody were to jump on the Canonizer,
Exactly.
weigh in and give us a sense of where you are. We can track pop culture as we move off in whatever direction we continue to go. Do either of you have any parting thoughts as we wind up this episode?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
How about you? Not an expert?
I mean, no, we are all good. We discussed a lot, and maybe I will create a subtopic which is having categories, and then I will add my movies there, and I will ask people to join in their camps and vote for their movies.
Cool.
Sounds good. All right, everybody.
And I would like to watch movie with you guys then.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
in future.
Come on over. Come on over.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, we could all go see Tron Ares. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yes, next time we'll plan movie.
Sounds good. All
Yes.
right. Well, thank you both, and thanks everybody for watching, and we will look forward to seeing you next time on Consensus with Canonizer.
Yes, thank you. Bye.